Hello and welcome to episode 45 of the Unknown Comics Podcast. I'm Brandon.
I'm Tanner.
Chris.
And we are your host for this geeky
It's just that Aaron tells
Chat
dad
segment.
jokes
This
for
time
an hour.
period.
this time period of
Yeah.
things to do stuff. And I just realized that
What'd you break?
it says comic chat.
Uh-oh. Oh,
Nope,
Twitch.
Can't have that.
Twitch, it's not a comic chat, it's a podcast. He's going to update it right quick.
And I got to
I
update
mean-
the category. We're not in talk
We're
shows.
not in talk shows. What are we in? I thought it was still talk shows.
It was in art
Oh, okay.
because y'all did comic chat and art. There we go.
Uh-oh.
It's fixed.
Okay. Oh, now all the new people are going to know.
Yeah.
I don't know where you saw these other people in the comic category because I looked
Yeah.
for several minutes and couldn't find one.
That's why it was confusing to me when I saw it and
Maybe
it wasn't there.
Maybe there are categories that are only available to partners.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe you can create your own when you become a partner.
Maybe. If that's the case, when we become partner, I'm going to create some weird stuff. Squirrel wrangling.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
a couple of minutes of random for you there.
There you go. So yeah, news. Pretty light week. I think everything's building up. So
Next week
later
will
in
not
the
be
show,
light.
later in the show, we're going to be talking about Disney Plus Day and kind of our predictions and our wishes. Whether or not they may or may not come true, we don't know. So we think the news cycle is a little light because Disney typically dominates geek news cycles with a lot of stuff, but they
Happens
did.
when you own everything.
Yeah, it did happen that there was some news coming out this week. So there are rumors that the Rogue Squadron film that Patty Jenkins was directing is pretty much been put indefinitely. Like apparently it's a schedule thing. It's not going to fly, which sucks because like of all the things that got announced last year at Disney Plus Day, that was like the one I'm like, yes, because I love that aspect of Star Wars.
Speaking of, did you see the Wedge Antilles helmet we got out there?
No?
It's on the floor.
Okay.
It has full battle simulations with lights and sounds and everything.
Hold on. What?
It's one of the Black Series helmets.
Oh, the helmet.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said like comic.
No.
No.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I was holding it and I was like, I don't know if I'm this nerdy to put that on and literally go through a battle simulation.
Yeah. I don't want to be a scummy rebel pilot though. I want a TIE fighter's helmet.
That's what I said. I was like, if we get some Imperial stuff, I might actually buy one.
Yeah,
There
it's
you
pretty cool looking though.
That is awesome. That's on our website too.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
There you go.
Check it out.
Check it out. So that got put indefinitely, but there are rumors that it's being taken over by an Old Republic film, which they've been rumored to do Old Republic films for years.
Because that's Knights of the Old Republic is what Ryan Johnson got greenlit for his trilogy.
Yes,
From what I understand,
rumored.
that is still greenlit.
Yeah,
He still has the okay to do that.
yeah. But Ryan Johnson also did The Last Jedi, and that didn't go so well.
Yeah, but apparently maybe his pitch is just that amazing.
Maybe he's not a bad director.
Yeah,
It's
I think that's the other thing too.
What-
Is
so-
maybe they're taking that to a side, right?
What other movies has, aside from The Last Jedi, has he directed?
the only one I knew of was Looper, actually. The one
And I
with
liked
Bruce Willis, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
I will IMDb it right quick.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. Honestly, I didn't know. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that he's a good director. That he just had bad source material.
I would think that if they're going to bring
Honestly.
him into the Star Wars universe, they're not going to just bring random people in there, right? They're going to
Yeah.
make sure that they can trust people with, or at least hopefully trust that they can do that stuff.
Maybe.
Maybe not so much anymore.
Yeah. So yeah. Which it would make sense.
Oh, he did Knives Out. Love that stuff.
He did do Knives Out. Yes. Which is totally a departure from sci-fi. I love Knives Out. That was such a good film. Best part is when she just pukes every time she goes to try to lie.
He's done multiple episodes of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I still haven't watched Breaking Bad. That's another one of those things that when I tell people, you haven't watched Breaking Bad? What's wrong with you?
There's
I've
quite a
seen
few of those
some
shows
of it.
that I haven't.
And it's good, but then at the same time, it's like, I don't, unless you're like caught up in the craze,
Yeah.
maybe you wouldn't just.
I didn't watch Dexter. I didn't watch Breaking Bad. I didn't
Dexter,
watch
I've
Sons of
seen most
Anarchy.
of. It's actually a good.
It's getting it's getting a continuation.
It just started.
It just started.
Yeah, I think
On
the
Paramount
season
Plus?
premiere just came out.
That would make sense. Showtime and Viacom, right?
I don't know if it's actually on Plus. I think it's only on Showtime, but I'll look and see.
Oh, is Showtime different? Do they not just pool it into Paramount Plus?
I don't think so.
I
I think
think
it's
it has
still.
its own
I think
app.
it's still a $10.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
no matter where it's at.
HBO's doing it right then.
So the big things that stand out to me is, I mean, he did Brick. I don't know much about that one. Looper, Breaking Bad, of course, episode 8, and Knives Out.
Yeah,
Those are his big
which he should be getting a sequel to Knives Out.
two.
One of them.
Netflix bought it,
Yeah.
which is going to be really weird because to see the first one, you have to watch it on Amazon. And to see the sequels, you're going to watch them on Netflix.
That, or maybe it's timed out to where by the time one of them hits Netflix,
Maybe they bought it
can,
out,
They can
something.
move it over or whatever. Yeah, Knives Out was good. So I guess it's going to follow the detective.
Yes.
Daniel Craig's character.
Yeah, there'll be a whole new mystery, and Daniel Craig will be the returning
No, it was-
character.
have you seen it?
No.
You should watch it.
It's really good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
really good.
It's on Prime, so you don't have to pay
Okay.
anything extra.
It's pretty good. And then, so I'm excited for an Old Republic because I do love the Old Republic stuff.
Yep.
But I'm really sad Rogue Squadron because what that tells me, it's put indefinitely on hiatus, meaning something's not. It may be a schedule thing, but
Yeah.
they
Well-
also say that when like heads are buttoned about stuff, you know.
And it may be that, or maybe it's just creatively. I mean, it would be the first time Patty Jenkins was pushed away from something because of that.
Yeah.
Whether it be her choice or the. I mean, she was supposed to do Thor too, so. You know.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe somebody else gets it.
Yeah. And then of course Waititi, whatever his name. You know he's writing Star
Taika
Wars,
Waititi. Yeah.
and we know Feige's doing a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
So there's lots of Star Wars movies in the works.
They need to get Ridley Scott because he's doing the new Top Gun Maverick. He didn't do the original Top Gun. That was his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Scott did the original Top Gun. He's dead. But so Ridley Scott he's not directing. He's producing the new Top Gun, which
It's done. It just needs
yeah,
to,
where is that movie?
Just put it in the freaking theaters. We'll go watch it.
seriously, I need to go watch Top Gun. And luckily I'm too old to like get recruited, or else I might.
You'd fall in line.
Yeah, no, it was always a bad idea.
You barely missed the Air Force.
Barely.
Air Force goes on 39.
Yeah, they would. I don't think
Navy
they would
goes
have
to
me.
35, I think.
They wouldn't put me in a plane anyway. That's the only reason I'd want to join. They'd probably stick me in a server room somewhere. Go in there, nerd. You're not flying nothing. So that's some Star Wars stuff. Maybe we'll hear some more tomorrow about what's taking the place. I mean, I think these are all just rumors leading up to what
I know it's Disney Plus Day tomorrow, but like I would think it's going to be kind of the full-blown Investors Day, kind of like they did last time, where they kind of just talked about everything. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be a lot more than just Disney Plus.
I think they only called it Disney Plus Day because it's the anniversary of
Yeah.
Disney
Yeah,
Plus.
but it is very much
Geared
all
towards-
of Disney's properties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which they're doing. If you don't have Disney Plus, if you're one of the 5 people that does not have Disney Plus,
Or you live in a country that doesn't have it.
or
yet,
doesn't have
sorry.
it, it's super discounted right now.
Yeah.
You can get it for like what, $5?
I always hate that.
For
when
like
they do
couple
that.
months?
I'm like, where's my money?
Mine's all bundled in with
Yeah.
so many other things.
I got tired of watching commercials on Hulu, so I shelled out the extra like $4 for the commercial free.
I would only consider doing that. It's not that
'Cause it's still cheaper than Netflix.
I like having the commercials because I can go pee and I can go refill
Yeah.
my drink or whatever. My thing is on my living room TV for some reason, like the commercials are so freaking loud. Like, and I'm totally an old person complaining
So,
about that now.
I
Yeah.
feel like it does that on all the TVs I watch Hulu on. It's just the commercials are always louder.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about my bedroom TV. It doesn't do that. But
This TV does it.
yeah. So freaking that, like, maybe they're doing it so I will.
So maybe it's so
But-
you'll know when to come back. Oh, it just got quiet. I better run back in there.
No, because I have to mute it
Yeah.
because it gets loud and you're like, oh, mute.
Yeah, because it hurts.
And then all of a sudden I hear my Chris, it's back on.
Yeah. I remember when
Do something about it.
When regular television was doing that for a while, then they actually had to make a law to quit people from doing it
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
because it got real bad.
Like there are literally, so when I would go to the NAB, which is the National Association of Broadcasters, there are companies that they make monitoring products just for
The sound.
loudness variation.
Yeah.
And like the whole piece of hardware, all it does is monitor and report to the FCC your loudness output. So
Yeah.
that way you don't get
You don't get fined?
fined.
Just seriously don't get fined?
Just that gear is just there so you don't get fined. So
I wonder if they call it the lynch.
they call it it's the linchpin. So also rumors going into Disney Plus Day that so a lot of iffiness going forward with the Wakanda portion of MCU franchise. That Winston Duke would be reprising M'Baku as M'Baku the Black Panther.
And I wonder if that's because there was a lot of reports that just came out about her and her political views.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people thought it was going to be her. And
Which would make sense because in comics, Shuri has been
Yeah.
the Black Panther.
and I think
I don't
that-
think M'Baku ever has.
I'm not sure, but it just
I
kind of shows you
wonder-
that Disney's like, yeah, we'll push you out of the way.
Yeah.
Because Black Panther #1 supposed to be coming out soon, so I wonder if he's going to take up the mantle for a little bit in the comics.
It's possible. I mean,
It got delayed again.
yeah, I think it's December now. It
At
was this
least
month.
if it's not January.
It was this month.
What's new?
Yeah, it was already delayed like 3 months. Yeah, maybe the writing team was like, "Oh no, we got it. We can't make it Shuri. We gotta change it." You know, but who
Which
knows?
would be sad if
Yeah.
that's the case.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I hate that we're mixing those two things. That's
Yeah.
I mean, that's not what it should be about.
Just let her act.
Yeah.
I mean, that's yeah. Anyway, you don't have to agree with her. Just let her act.
Yep. We're
Sure.
not all gonna agree.
Exactly.
That's just the way it is.
Maybe they could act like they agree.
If they were better at their job,
They're gonna get
they
menopause.
just they didn't hear the joke. They just heard our
Yeah,
reaction to the joke.
but he knows, so that's all that matters. He's back to giggling.
Oh my gosh. Also, another rumor going into tomorrow that a potential X-Men animated series coming.
Yeah, I saw that, and I saw that today at lunchtime.
I wonder. I don't know, man.
The thing that worries me about that is if they go into that, is it going to be connected? Is it not going to be connected?
Right.
You know, where is that?
Like
gonna
connected to comics now?
Go? Well, to MCU.
Oh, connected to the MCU.
Because you think, what if's connected to the MCU?
Yeah.
They're thinking about doing more cartoons. connected to
But
the
I mean,
MCU.
they've done Avengers cartoons since the MCU gained popularity, and they're not connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't connect it.
But at the same time, though, I mean, all your Star Wars cartoons are connected to the Star Wars universe.
Not
you know
all
what
of
I mean?
them.
Well,
Lego Star Wars.
all the
is
ones,
totally freaking
all the
weird.
ones happening
But
that we know of. That
also,
are actually there.
Star Wars has always been a franchise that all the media
Yeah, they want it to be
intertwine. And that's
cohesive.
always been that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's that one line of canonicity that just never breaks out, which, Marvel still has its universes, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But most of the stuff for the animated stuff that you've seen from Marvel since then has been very geared towards smaller kids. It hasn't been geared towards outside of What If. There really
MODOK.
hasn't.
There's that
Well,
Spider-Man.
and MODOK. I mean, but
And then Hitmonkey's going to be on that more adult animated.
Because it's going to be on Hulu also, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Anything there that's adult oriented, they're throwing on their Hulu brand, which I get.
but Disney's also been throwing around the word meta. So I'm not sure exactly what.
Yeah,
we're
the
supposed
whole
to learn
bit-
more about that tomorrow too. I guess.
It's just a fad. It's a new fad word.
Well, Disney's been using
Yeah.
it a lot longer than Facebook has, from what I understand.
Yeah.
So
Metaverses and stuff like that. It's basically living inside a virtual space.
yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, basically they want us to all be doing Ready Player One
Pretty much.
very soon.
Yeah. That's what the Oasis is.
If you read the second book, you're going to find out it didn't work out very well.
There you go. I need to read.
It was good.
Second book.
It was good.
He's got another book that he wrote after Ready Player One. It's its own story. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Same author, but it's
a book.
It's a book, and it has pages and words. All right, so that's kind of it for news. Like I said, a lot of it was just rumors going into
Tomorrow
tomorrow. So
or today.
So
whatever
we'll
you're
kind of
listening,
do
last week, whatever.
we'll kind of do kind of our wish list here in a little bit. But first, we're going to talk about the Eternals. Tanner hasn't seen it, but Tanner's okay to.
Yeah, I don't care.
He already knows the spoilers.
He already knows all the spoilers. So we're
Thanks,
gonna
Twitter.
So we're gonna go into a little bit of spoiler territory. So we'll get anybody watching live or on YouTube a little chance, and then after we're done, we'll go to our title card break, and then we'll come back and talk about Disney Plus Day. So if you are watching on YouTube, you can skip forward on your podcast until you hear the music again, and then you'll be out of spoiler territory. So spoilers begin now.
Okay.
Was that
Right now.
was that a tension builder? I feel it was. Okay.
Eternals.
So here is my one sentence review. It was okay.
It was set up.
Yeah.
It was safe.
Yes.
And they can use everybody again, I guess.
Or not.
I saw Monday, Salma Hayek has multiple movie deals, which is confusing
Yeah.
because she's dead.
Well,
But maybe they
They're-
create a whole new one.
They're eternal.
they're androids is what we found out.
Yeah.
Which is different than the comics.
Makes you also think, if Salma Hayek has multiple movie deals and is coming back in some way, shape, or form, so we're going to see Thanos again?
Right. And that's and that begs the question that
So if they're androids, does that make Thanos an android?
He's an Eternal.
he is an Eternal. I mean, it literally links him at the very end. Now,
It says they're
So-
Eternals, but they're not mechanisms. I mean, they're still like created beings.
like Vision,
Yeah.
they bleed, and apparently they can have children.
Yeah. They act.
Well, I guess I don't know.
they
Didn't really say if Festos is bio or
Yeah.
adopted or.
They look to whatever planet they need to be so they can be changed organism wise or organically.
Yeah.
Which is why you're going to see Thanos is a big blue Titan and his brother Eros is not
Yeah.
Star Fox. So it's interesting. You learn a lot more about them. It's really cool, I think, to see the Celestials on screen.
So supposedly they shot. So they wrote. I saw an interview with one of the writers. They had wrote 9 different after credits scenes, and just kind of throwing them out and deciding. Apparently the Star Fox scene, like, actually had them all sitting down and communing with the main Celestial again, because he had his little communication orb
Yeah.
at the end, and supposedly it was actually shot them actually talking to what's his bucket Celestial.
Yeah. I don't remember. I can't remember his name. It was a weird name. It was a Celestial.
Yeah,
He was the main Celestial.
the big red Celestial.
Yeah. He's the one that made sure that other baby Celestials were born.
Yeah,
Yeah, that guy. Pretty sure it started with an A. Brandon's tired, guys.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, I have
He just yawned.
I have
You couldn't see
a
him.
a child. We're transitioning to a toddler bed. This is my life.
Yep. He's got the sleepy eyes.
So yeah, and because Thanos' relationship with the Eternals in the comics has always been kind of weird too. That he's not full Eternal.
It's like their cousin.
Yeah, and then sometimes he is. So it's never been just like,
And I think it goes back and forth, just like you see some mutants, right? Some mutants, like Wolverine, was never destined to be what he is.
yeah,
I think that's, something like that. You see Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. They weren't destined to be mutants, but then they became mutants, and then they're not mutants. And
now
I
they
think just
might be mutants.
story comic line changes based on what they need and some of those
Yeah.
characters. So,
Yeah.
but I think the movie was good. I like the movie. I like the fact that it's setting up the Black Knight. I like the fact that we saw Blade get set up. It is setting up hopefully what we're going to see a lot of these Disney Plus launches tomorrow with Moon Knight and some stuff like that.
I will say, like, other than setting up Black Knight, he had no purpose in that movie
No,
whatsoever.
Did he know nothing?
He knew nothing.
well, he. Yeah,
And
Jon
not
Snow.
and not even Rob would tell him.
Yeah.
It didn't like dawn on me until it didn't click until like 2 days after the movie. I was like, that was Rob and John. Duh.
Yeah. And both fighting over the same lady.
Yeah.
It was a love triangle of brothers.
So, like that to me was kind of a pointless plot line. Another point, like the whole plot hook with Icarus, like, I mean, I guess you needed a villain, but like you had the deviants.
Yeah.
They had this evolving deviant, and like,
I think we're not seeing that yet because he flies off and goes somewhere. You know, he
goes into the sun. Yeah,
he goes into the sun, but he's not dead. I mean, why would they kill him?
Yeah,
I think if they did kill him, we would have saw an actual something.
yeah.
We would have seen him.
I think
Burst into
I think
flames.
that evolving deviant that was like a pointless villain.
Yeah, and they talk about deviants like that in the comics as well and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see that deviant just kind of came out of nowhere and was already able to have these abilities of sucking the
And then
Eternals' powers.
Thena just awesome, just awesome, and it's just like, okay, that's it. You know who that was, right? Who actually like voiced him?
Skarsgård.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
guy that played It.
yeah, Pennywise.
The other Skarsgård.
He's not it.
Pennywise. It was in It. Movie It. Pennywise. Clown. He was a clown.
Yes, Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, the other Skarsgård. Because we
But
already
like
had the other Skarsgård.
you'd barely know it. Like his voice is so modulated, and like you would just unless you just knew, you didn't know. They totally could have just made deviants,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and probably been okay. So yeah, there was just a lot of fluff in it that I think didn't really need to be there.
It was hard setting up a story with 12 characters that no one knows about.
Yeah,
So, I mean, overall, they did a really good job with that. Like we were saying beforehand, the movie was safe. If the movie failed, there's nothing really big that says they had to reference it. If the movie did really good, then they've got some points now that they can go forward with.
yeah,
And then the couple of things that they want to move forward with no matter what, like the Black Knight and Blade, well, we already know that stuff's happening, so they
Yeah.
can do whatever they want with that stuff. It still really doesn't affect
Yeah.
the Eternals movie.
yeah.
So.
The Black Knight stuff is cool. I wonder if he's going to be his own film or a series.
I would think if he is his own thing, it's going to be a Disney Plus thing for sure,
Yeah.
not a movie.
I think that's fine.
I think that we'll probably see a group of people becoming a TV show soon. I think that's kind of what we're going to see. Because they have a lot of solo shows.
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
no team shows. I would think we'll see some kind of a team show at some point.
like the Defenders. That went awesomely.
There was a rumored day that they're going to reboot Daredevil.
Yeah,
Probably Disney Plus again, or Hulu. It depends on which nature of that they
Right.
want to go. But we'll for sure be seeing some of those characters soon in movies because there's rumors that we're going to see Kingpin in Spider-Man and Daredevil in Spider-Man,
yeah.
and then we'll see Kingpin in Hawkeye.
And we're going to see Mephisto, and we're going to see
Man, that was reaching on some of that
Like-
stuff, man.
like this one speck of dust is this Green Goblin. This one speck of dust is this Green
I
Goblin.
was like,
come
here's the
on.
reflection of the other version of Doc Ock, and how could you even pull that from that?
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. When he sent that out, I just laughed. I'm like, yep, there are people that legit think that's
That's what's going to happen.
yep.
Yeah, the expectations for Spider-Man are huge, and I hope people.
Well, Feige said it. Like
You need to
you need to
calm
calm the f
down.
down. It's not as big as I think I just wanted it to be a good story.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really care about the cameos they're cool icing, but I want a good story and I want it to be impactful in the overall MCU. And I think that's where Eternals landed a little flat. But
I really think it's. I think even though Rami is doing Doctor Strange, I feel like Spider-Man is part one of that story, and
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is probably
Yeah.
part two.
Loki was
yeah.
part one.
WandaVision.
0.5.
So was Eternals originally supposed to come out between this stuff, or did it?
I don't think
Because
really.
that was my big question. Is
I think Shang-Chi and Eternals really could just. as long as they came out after all the snapping, it was fine either way on those two movies.
Yeah, it just seems like you said, it's starting a new thing that's kind of lackluster in the middle of this epic multiverse story arc that's already started.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like we didn't want to do a prequel movie, so we'll put it in the current timeline, kind of like Captain Marvel, right? But
yeah.
we still want
them so far
to
outside
be
of
able to have those characters show up and people know who the hell that guy is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where it is.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be building a brand new Avengers team. They unveiled the new Marvel little banner today with Anthony Mackie right at the center of it. So I'm not sure if he is going to be the main focus kind of going forward or what. So it'd be interesting to see if he was.
Yeah. And then, of course, at the end, the second credit scene with I can't even remember his alter ego name.
Dane.
Dane Whitman.
They said it so hard with their accents that I'm like, what are they calling
Yeah.
him?
You see Dane Whitman, and he opens up a case, and you see the ebony blade.
Yep.
And the ebony blades.
And the curse of the ebony blade.
Yeah. Which I need to go back and really read up on Black Knight's backstory, because I've never he was kind of.
So he
was a big Avenger in the 70s and early 80s.
He was the Black Knight, of course, in Arthur's time, and he went and basically he was the knight that protected Arthur from all the assassinations.
Yeah.
And eventually the blade was cursed. It was also made by Merlin. Became cursed which is why they talk in the movie about him getting his relationship with his uncle better, because he was the Black Knight.
Right.
He took it up and he was cursed, but he did all kinds of bad stuff with it. Towards the end of his life, he started trying to do better. So he tells Dane Whitman, hey, use this sword for good. But it has a curse on it. Eventually in the comic books, Doctor Strange gets rid of the curse.
Yeah.
And he basically brings his ancestor back, and they kind of fight it out for the curse and get rid of it.
And what the blade said, death is its reward?
Yes. Yeah, so it wants to kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wants to kill.
Yeah.
So I kind of went over it all.
It's like the axe in Berserker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then, of course, you hear a disembodied voice ask him, do you really want to...
You sure about this?
You really sure about this?
Yeah, and I totally thought it was
Jeffrey Wright.
I thought it was the What If voice. I
Yeah.
was like, "What?
That was
The
the
Watcher
Watcher.
just showed up?" And then I didn't see it until the director was like, "No, it's Blade," and I was like, "Okay, well, I would have never."
Yeah.
I would have thought it was the Watcher until Blade came out, and they made that scene again like they do in all the other movies where they, he probably walks into the room and says something to him.
So Mahershala Ali being his second MCU character, if you count the Netflix series.
Yep, Luke Cage. He was in that.
Which I liked Luke Cage.
Yeah, I thought Luke Cage was good. The
still never-
second season was a little bit different.
Was it?
but
Yeah, I only watched the first.
It was just some uncomfortable scenes with Shades and the lady. That was just, you could tell that they did not want to be kissing each other ever, and they did. Yeah, it looked like they both wanted to throw up. They were both repulsed by it, but they were in love. I don't know. Yeah, maybe it was supposed to be like that.
Right.
It was just, outside of that, it was pretty good though.
Yeah, I stopped the Netflix series in Iron Fist. I still haven't finished Iron Fist, so I haven't watched the last season of Daredevil. I haven't watched Jessica Jones. I haven't watched Punisher.
Punisher's so good.
I need to finish it. I just need to do it.
Even if you don't watch anything else, just at least watch Punisher because it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Punisher and Daredevil are definitely my favorite things out of all that stuff.
So we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we will talk about kind of our wish list, what we want to see talked about for Disney Plus, and kind of some more predictions, more so than what we've already talked about. So we will do that shortly. All right, and we are back. So we're gonna talk about our Disney Plus wish list, which
Hopes, dreams.
I had one going in today that we were going to get a release date on Rogue Squadron. No, we're not.
We did. We got never.
we got indefinitely. No, you suck. The one thing that you want from Star Wars.
So it makes you wonder:
get.
was Patty the writer for this? Because if she was, I mean, then it's probably still going to be hers,
Possibly.
and then it's just going to take a little bit longer.
Yeah.
We were talking about that the other day in the podcast. That why aren't we getting 4 or 5 Star Wars movies a year? They could. They have plenty of content to go off of, plenty of timeline to go off of.
I think the sequel trilogy just
After the sequel trilogy, I think they had to okay, let's stop. Let's rethink our plan for this and then try again.
Mandalorian was already in the works.
Yeah.
So they had, and luckily,
Mandalorian is honestly what I think saved Star Wars.
yeah, and I think Mandalorian was already in the works. Honestly, because if Mandalorian hadn't been in production when Rise of Skywalker
Probably
dropped,
as far as it was too.
it probably would have gotten nixed.
Yeah. I think that you really look at Jon Favreau and the fact that Iron Man basically saved Marvel, and then I think The Mandalorian saved Star Wars. But I still feel like you just got to have one creative vision over. If you want to have one creative vision, like Feigie's over the whole MCU as one timeline right now. Well, if you want to do multiple timelines at Star Wars, okay, have this person be this guy over this, this guy over this, because you can go in all these different parts of the timeline, and do multiple movies, and just have those guys meet every once in a while. And be like, okay, this is what we're going to mess with.
We got to make sure it
So
all still strings together.
Yeah, so you can borrow beats from different things.
So
to
it's all cohesive.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been doing that. I mean, they already with Filoni involved and everything. So even the cartoons that have been coming out, they've directly feeding into the Mandalorian already.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get some cool Star Wars stuff tomorrow.
That's what I'm hoping. And I
We know
I will
there's-
be redeemed if we get something Old Republic related.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
I've seen rumors of a Kenobi trailer,
Yeah,
so I better get a Kenobi trailer.
yeah. I hear Kenobi trailer and Andor trailer,
Yeah.
or at least reels.
I think Andor's pretty.
If I understand that will be like a longer season, which is why even though it's been out of production longer than everything else, it's taking longer to
edit.
finish up. Because it's supposed to be quite a bit longer than everything else has been.
You think we get Moon Knight tomorrow?
Well, they're post-production. Disney's they're a lot better than DC is at least filming something to make something.
Yeah.
Even if they're not even
Oh,
close to being done with edits, they'll
Heck,
get
they-
something out.
Heck, they do special effects on their teaser trailers to pull people out of the teaser trailers
Yeah.
to throw people off
Yeah.
of the normal scenes.
I know it seems kind of weird.
Have you gone through it where you see like all these teaser trailer camera shots and then you actually see it up against the movie and there's like 3 characters that were plucked out
Yeah.
of the teaser trailer?
Or you think
Oh,
about
wow.
Hela
Yeah.
when she destroyed the hammer in the commercials. It
Was
was
it
always
complete-
it was like in an alleyway. It had nothing to do with some random.
I almost wonder if that was a later change.
addition.
Yeah.
Well, like Hulk he wasn't Hulk. He was Hulkbuster.
Yeah.
In game and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, there's tons of stuff. And they do a really good job with that because they're really messing with us.
Yeah. I think sometimes
Rat
it's late
bastards.
changes, but then a lot of times it's just misdirection.
I wonder if the artists that go through all that stuff are just like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
Sometimes they do.
What? Watch. We get into Far From Home, and
There's no Doc Ock.
there's no Doc Ock at all.
I was about to say sometimes they do too well, and we get an Iron Man 3 situation because the trailer for Iron Man 3 is amazing. I don't like the movie.
Gosh, I don't know that I remember the trailer on its own.
It made it so it really fed off of the whole Mandarin thing.
It did.
Iron Man 3 shows you
It
what
didn't-
happens
it
when you
doesn't
take Jon
even
Favreau
mention
off a project.
extremis.
The whole movie was a shell game for the Mandarin, though.
Yeah, and
mean-
the Iron Man 3 was hard because that's the reason Favreau stopped doing Marvel movies, and it's because they had a headbutting thing where he still wanted it to be, let's still make it about Iron Man, and they're like, no, it has to be working into the MCU, and I still feel like it still stands on its own even at that. I mean, he's dealing with the issues that happened in Avengers.
Yeah.
He's having an emotional breakdown the entire freaking movie.
Well,
which
I mean,
I still feel like they could have done that.
It was the MCU's take on the Demon in the Bottle arc
Yeah.
a little bit. So yeah, I think hopefully we get Moon Knight. Hawkeye, I don't think we get anything anymore because it's
we're too close to
just
the release date.
it's just right here.
I think they'll probably show the trailer again, but I doubt they'll show
Nothing
anything
new.
new.
Yeah.
Unless they do, for some reason, give us a little taste of Kingpin. Just to say, yeah, these characters are going to be
Yeah.
in the MCU.
Possibly Ms. Marvel.
I think we'll see Miss Marvel stuff. It's, again, production, I think, done on that.
Yeah.
I don't see why we wouldn't see some actual release dates to some of those movies that they didn't.
So what did we get last year? I know we got the big slate, but that was the investors meeting that we got a lot of that. What did they actually reveal on Disney Plus Day last year?
Well, it all got pushed because of COVID. So it all was like one big thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they did like everything all together, one big. So Disney Plus, Disney, Star Wars, like all that was one big thing. And I kind of feel like this is still going to be basically the same thing.
Right.
Kind of where all their investors are kind of finding out what's happening with this.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well,
they talked about Moon Knight then.
Yeah.
They talked about Ms. Marvel then. They talked about She-Hulk then. Of course, Hawkeye. So a lot of the stuff we know about and is basically in production or post-production now is so I think we're probably going to get some release dates, at least for some of that, I would think.
Yeah.
Like Ms. Marvel, which should be first quarter next year. We'll probably get Mando Season 2 release date. Three, yeah.
See, Book of Boba Fett already has a date.
Andor should be sometime early next year.
Yeah.
I would think Andor probably comes right before Season 3 of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And then Obi-Wan's done. So it's, I mean, there's a ton of Star
Actually
Wars
comes
shows.
like 20 or 30 years before Mandalorian.
Well, yes. Yeah, I know. But I think it's Andor and Obi-Wan are more similar to timelines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course,
Acolyte.
which they talked about that, but I don't think we'll see anything on that for a while.
I think.
Because they got to get through more of the High Republic story arc before they give us that.
I think High Republic has yet to prove itself as a broader.
Yeah, I mean, they're
appeal.
just January. They're finishing phase 1 of whatever it may be. It's a multi-year ground on just the books before I think we even see a lot of visual media.
I've enjoyed what I've read of it in the comics. I do wish the story had moved just a little bit faster, but
Yeah, it has been good, but again, they're setting up a whole timeline. Basically, I mean, Old Republic had books upon books upon books upon books to do all that stuff with it, and then of course all the Dark Horse comics that series and series and series of just mini series that they had to feed into all that stuff as well. So they had a lot of stuff to do all that stuff with.
So we're getting a bunch of IMAX versions of the movies, of the MCU movies,
On what?
on Disney Plus.
IMAX versions? How does
Yes.
that help me at home?
It's
The formatting?
it's the wider formatting.
Yeah.
Oh.
So basically, your screen's going to look smaller, but you're going to see more.
it's gonna be like watching the widescreens on the old
On the box
TVs.
TV?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're back to this now. So eventually, now we're going to have IMAX televisions.
Yeah. Well,
Like-
I bet IMAX would love that. They'd be like, yeah, we'll format your TV for you.
Well, that's the difference. Is widescreen was never a brand.
Yeah.
It was just a format now, and because IMAX is even bigger than anamorphic, which even in widescreen world you still had letterboxing because of anamorphic, right? 2-to-1. IMAX is close to anamorphic. It just actually does a little bit more. Woo. Like,
So the one big thing we got last year was FF right at the end of the reveal.
yeah.
yeah.
So are we going to get more on that?
I don't want to get my hopes up about an X announcement.
Yeah. And then, that's the other thing is, where are we at with mutants?
Yeah.
Marvel, it's been years.
At least, I mean, at the very least, if they confirmed the animated,
Just
thing,
show just put the X on the projector.
Just do it like you did last year with F. And I think that's what they're going to do, right? We're going to see a little bit more on FF.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the presentation, we'll get this big X.
Yeah.
And that's probably going to be the end of it.
I really think that they're by the end of Doctor Strange, that Wanda's going to be a mutant.
I think that, I mean, they've got left it wide open for that to be the case.
Well, they've been setting it up to make her a mutant again in the comics with this whole trial of Magneto thing. So
yeah. I see that could definitely be happening. I think that's, again, another reason the Eternals could come in, because it explains the Eternals came in, they experimented, they made the Eternals, they made the Deviants, and they left the humankind turn into mutants. That's one of the things they have in there. So, I mean, they can use that to explain it all if they really, really want to.
Speaking of which, I haven't watched the video. I saw it and I was like, ooh, yes, they could totally set that up. Because they've talked about vibranium being the meteor, right?
Yeah.
But talking about Fastos being the one who actually imparted like vibranium invention into Wakanda.
Yeah.
It's like Wakanda was like his pet project because he wasn't able to
He wasn't able to do it everywhere else.
do it everywhere else, but Wakanda was his little
His little
little
spot.
test bed where he could do the advanced technology, and that's what actually gave Wakanda the leg up. Is not only did they have it,
It makes sense.
They knew how to use it.
Yeah, that would completely make sense. He ran out when they were all separated. He was like, "I'm going."
The
This is my
time
spot.
the timeline would check out because they break apart in the 1500s.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. I mean, that would totally make sense.
There you go.
Yeah,
So yeah.
maybe we'll see him in
probably
Wakanda
should
forever.
We probably should have saved that for back in the spoiler part, but that's fine. It's not a big spoiler. Festos makes stuff.
Yeah, that's his thing.
And he wants to keep making stuff, but he has to be like,
He's slow as roll.
yeah,
And it makes you wonder too, because in the movie she's like, "No, it's too soon for that." But then you come to find out why she knows that,
yeah,
because she's done this a lot.
yeah.
You'll understand that when you watch the movie if you haven't seen it already.
It'll be on Disney Plus in a couple weeks.
Yeah, probably. Be like tomorrow. They're like, Eternals is on Disney Plus. Right.
It wouldn't surprise me if they put a date to it at the very least.
Yeah.
What, Shang-Chi? Is Shang-Chi there yet?
And Jungle Cruise will both be tomorrow.
Tomorrow. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Jungle Cruise yet,
It's pretty good.
it's pretty good.
I liked it.
It's
I thought it
really
was fun.
good. I would like to see Free Guy on there pretty soon too. That'd be cool. Because it is also a Disney Fox property now.
So weird.
Yeah.
Is it like Disney safe or would it be a Hulu release?
I think it's Disney safe. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. It's not typical Ryan. It's not
I was about to say. I mean, it could go either way with Ryan Reynolds.
there are some weird references and some cussing here and there, but it's not. I mean, they've got worse things on there right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's completely fine.
Yeah.
So, and it's hilarious.
So-
For me, I still think Free Guy is probably my favorite movie of the whole year.
So let's break apart. Let's Star Wars and Marvel aside, because to us that's what Disney Plus is about, right? But Disney Plus is more. Mm-hmm. What else do you think Disney Plus starts pulling? I
I
mean,
don't even know what else. I guess they did talk about a Cruella 2. There's been rumors of that.
yeah.
Um,
That's what I'm trying to surely it can't all be Star Wars and Marvel.
It's not. I mean,
Disney
my
Plus is way more than that.
my family watches tons of stuff on there, like the Mighty Duck stuff. We already know there's more of that. This Doogie.
Oh, the Doogie House
The
remake.
Doogie show, they watch that like crazy. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they watch.
We watch a lot of it, but don't keep track of it to know what's coming. We just when it shows up, we watch it.
I think really, if it wasn't for those two properties, Disney Plus would not be popular at all. I mean, people would. It would be something kind of like what they were doing for Netflix for a while. They were like, we're just going to keep kind of pumping stuff into this, and then we'll pump some stuff on Hulu.
I would say because Disney Plus broke the vault mechanic
and brought everything out.
I think for Disney fans,
It was still for the
Yeah.
cheaper price.
Yeah.
I still thought because even at first that's all that was on there.
yeah,
And I was like, it's cool to have all these things at your fingertips.
yeah.
But as far as I think a lot of people would give it up though too easily if it wasn't for the new content that was going to come.
Or we get an announcement tomorrow that Disney Plus and Hulu.
And they are everywhere else.
Yeah,
America is still the only country where they're not together.
yeah.
That's still just so weird to me.
Yeah, and it's because they're just so afraid of America freaking out that there's content on Disney that's.
But I mean, you look at
Sure.
HBO Max. There's kids content. There's adult content. You
Yeah.
look at Amazon Prime. There's kids. Netflix.
And I know
Every
that's
other
something-
service does that except Disney.
That's something last year they had talked about. They want to make sure that those adult parameters are there to make sure that
Yeah.
kids aren't watching stuff that you don't want them to see.
Yeah.
And that's a big reason why the platforms are still split. Because HBO, it'd be so easy for my kids to just. It's the same thing on Netflix, right? They just go right over to my profile. There's nothing that keeps them locked out.
The difference to me is just Disney, at least in America, has always just been branded as kids content, like all of it. That's
family
how it's
content.
been.
I would say
branded.
family content. Yeah.
So HBO might have the kids stuff, but it's always been branded.
This is
Right.
more
For
adult.
adults.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're definitely not going to keep the Hulu brand. Disney Plus is the stronger brand by name because it's got Disney attached to it. So you'd have to, if you were going to throw them together, you're losing Hulu.
Yeah.
Because what the hell's a Hulu? Like, I remember when it first came out.
It was,
10
but
years
what's
ago.
crazy though is Hulu's like the original.
I remember when it came out
Netflix,
thinking it was a
Netflix
scam.
instant streaming started before, but the difference when it was Netflix and Hulu was Netflix was pretty much digital versions of what you would get DVDs of.
Yeah.
Whereas Hulu was this just came out on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch it the next day, right?
And
It was kind of this is the live television replay. This was the
And Netflix had a lot more movie stuff. Hulu was TV driven.
or if it had TV seasons, they were complete seasons, right?
right.
Like stuff like that. Whereas Hulu, you had the drip feed of normal broadcast.
I remember when Hulu first came out, man, I thought I was doing something illegal.
I know, that's how I felt too. I was like, this is
Because there wasn't
kinda
ads or
sketch.
anything at first either.
Yeah.
It was just you get on there and watch it.
Yeah.
and it was free.
Yeah, the ad thing didn't take very long before it popped in because I remember it. Or you had limited free content too.
Yeah.
You had limited ad-free content. You had like so many episodes in a season or whatever. But yeah, it evolved.
Yeah, 'cause I remember eventually I got on there and I was like, "What? I gotta pay now?
Right.
What's this crap?"
Yeah. I do remember, I think when Hulu first came out, I did not like its interface. I was like, oh, I like Netflix
It was.
better.
Yeah,
But
I think it was more like Windows, wasn't it? Like
Yeah.
window blocks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was kind of clunky. And for the most part, Netflix at the time, like I remember it was a big deal to have an Xbox 360 because it was one of the first it was one of the first things where you could watch Netflix outside of a laptop.
And Hulu, basically, you had to
computer.
do on their website.
It
Yeah.
had the party mechanic where it looked like a theater, and you had a little Xbox avatar sitting there watching the
and
movie.
you could watch,
Yep.
which is hilarious because now, that said, it was super buggy.
Watch parties.
Worked hardly any of the time, but now we have watch parties that work way better.
Yeah.
That it's all kind of come full circle.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like what other services Disney Plus might announce that kind of rolls in because, the ESPN thing's rolling, which I'm so glad
Yeah.
hockey has moved to ESPN because
Well, and I
that
don't-
just made that bundle worth it.
I mean, it kind of makes you wonder if they're really going to ever get rid of Hulu because Hulu now has live TV. They're a cable service.
Well, maybe that's what they do. Like Hulu becomes just the live TV brand,
Yeah.
and the VOD, DVR stuff.
Yeah.
Disney Plus is that content just of their content archives there.
But what they do with like in the other countries, you can get straight to that through Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they're going to make that in the States where it's a tile.
Yeah.
Just like Marvel, Star Wars, Nat Geo.
Now Hulu
There's
is
a
your-
Hulu tile.
where you go
Yeah.
to get live. Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, right now because YouTube TV, you can't download on Roku right now,
Yeah.
but you can download normal YouTube, and there's a section in there that is YouTube TV. They just basically backdoored it through their other app because,
That Roku has their own thing. But they have so many other platforms.
Roku and Google are just
Yeah.
smashing heads right now, because media companies,
Get it fixed.
right?
Thanks, Twitch.
So yeah, I can't think of other things that I'm kind of anticipating. Like we talked about the X-Men animated series. That'd be cool. I'd be curious to see if it's like a continuation of the '90s one.
Yeah.
So you stick with those arcs, or if you go ahead and move into
the MCU.
the MCU, or you
Something
could
brand new.
They could go into Krakoa.
Yeah.
They can go and
The
start
Reign of X, Power of X. Yeah.
They start borrowing in the Hickman run. Which are y'all reading Inferno?
No.
Y'all need to be reading Inferno. It's only 2 episodes in, or 2 issues in. Y'all need to be reading Inferno.
But when I opened it up, there was lots of words.
There's a thick book.
It's Hickman,
And they're all that thick.
but it's worth it.
But you're my guy that just tells me what happened.
Just lots of chess pieces moving around. If you like, I will say Inferno. This is bonus content. This is bonus from Comic Chat. I can't be here for Comic Chat.
You can call in.
I call in from work while I'm supposed to be doing other stuff.
You're like, what? Are you in a server room right now? Yes, it's fine.
Could be. That's all you hear behind him is fans. Like Inferno is, I mean, it's that continuation of the kind of the main powers and house arc, and just you're starting to find out more about why Moira did not want Destiny resurrected.
Yeah.
And of course now she is.
Yep.
Right. And
She's on our Inferno 3 cover.
And
guess
she's
she's on Inferno 4.
what? Moira. Yeah. And then, of course, now Destiny's actually on the council.
Oh,
On top of all that.
snap.
Yeah, it's getting real. She's in the section with Xavier and Magneto in the council. So it's
That makes sense.
yeah. There's a lot going on, but it's pretty cool. I like, because to me, like the whole Krakoa arc has just been, this is too good to be true,
Yeah.
right? And it fails, right? We saw it in Powers that it doesn't last forever. What ends up bringing it down? How long does it even last? Before it all goes down, and then all the stuff the humans are doing in the back end. Because, like, you find out Orcus is, like, all of these organizations together. It's AIM, it's SHIELD, it's Hydra, it's, like,
all the bad guys.
Well, SHIELD.
Oh yeah, bad guys.
It's all of these agencies working together to, like,
Stop the mutants.
to work against Krakoa.
Yeah, because they don't like.
Here's the thing, though. It never says mutants. It talks about Krakoa.
Yeah,
So it's like, I don't know. I don't think Orcus is the hate group that it was originally set up to be. I think it's something else. And Krakoa is not what we think it is. It's something else. Anyway,
what is it? What is it?
I think it's Xavier and Magneto and Moira scheming, but probably not on the up and up.
Xavier's finally a bad guy.
I think he's always had I think it's always been in him.
Yeah,
It's on thought. No, I mean,
yeah. As soon as you let him start walking around again, he just gets all bad.
yeah. There you go. break his spine again. We've gone on enough.
Evil minds in his
So
brain.
anyway, next week we'll kind of have our rundown of Disney Plus Day and everything that comes with it. And
Be a lot more exciting because hopefully we'll be excited.
Yeah. So we'll spend.
Hopefully Disney will be excited.
Yeah. Hopefully it's talk worthy and not just dates and numbers to stuff we already knew. That's what I worry.
That would be a
is just,
disappointment.
That's just going to be.
Show me something new.
Yeah. Make us excited to be subscribers.
Put an X at the end.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We had a blast. We will be back this time if you're watching live on Twitch, we'll be back this time next week, 7 p.m. Central. Otherwise, you can catch us on YouTube or anywhere that you ingest podcasts. Don't forget, we've got live sales going on every Monday and Friday. We have all of our content on Twitch. You need to follow us on YouTube. You need to follow us on Twitch.
Venom.
We got lots of Venom stuff tomorrow, but
Fantastic Four.
if you're watching this, listening to this later, it's
missed
probably already happened. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.